There's a moment in every person's life where the choice is no longer about talent or opportunity or luck. It is about persistence. The kind of persistence that spits in the face of obstacles, that keeps walking through storms when others seek shelter, that refuses to surrender even when the world whispers, "It's over." Winners are not made by comfort. They are forged in fire, hammered by adversity, and sharpened by rejection. They're the ones who keep moving forward when everyone else has collapsed by the wayside. History has proven it again and again. Thomas Edison failed more than 10,000 times before perfecting the light bulb. Henry Ford went bankrupt 5 times before revolutionizing transportation. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. Abraham Lincoln lost election after election before ever becoming president. Each one of them could have quit. Each one had every excuse to surrender. But they didn't. And that refusal to quit became the very thing that set them apart, the dividing line between mediocrity and immortality. You see, the world doesn't reward the first attempt, nor does it hand over its treasures to the faint of heart. The world bows to those who endure, to those who decide, with unwavering faith, that the mountain will move, not because it is easy, not because the path is clear, but because they refuse to stop pushing until it does. Quitting is the silent disease of the unsuccessful. It is the reason millions live lives of quiet desperation, never tapping into their true potential, never building the future they once dreamed of. Quitting masquerades as reason, disguises itself as logic, and whispers, maybe it's not meant to be. But winners know better. Winners know that every setback is a setup, every rejection is redirection, and every obstacle is an invitation to rise higher. A winner does not see defeat as the end. Defeat is data. Failure is feedback. Struggle is strength in disguise. The mind of the winner interprets difficulty not as a sign to stop, but as a signal to grow stronger, to sharpen their vision, to double down on faith, discipline, and action. Think of a seed planted deep in the soil, in darkness, pressed beneath the weight of the earth, surrounded by cold silence. It looks like death, but it is life in its most powerful form. The seed must push against the soil, break through the darkness, and fight its way toward the light. Without resistance, it would never grow. Without struggle, it would never rise. And so it is with you. Without adversity, you would never discover how powerful you really are. Without obstacles, you would never awaken the champion within you. Winners know this truth, and they embrace it. They welcome the grind. They welcome the pain. They welcome the setbacks. Not because they enjoy suffering, but because they understand the formula of greatness. The formula is simple. Endure longer than the rest. Persist when others quit. Keep the fire alive when the world tries to smother it. The power of persistence is not in grand gestures, but in small, consistent acts of defiance against mediocrity. It is in the decision to wake up one more time when the alarm rings. To make the call after you've already heard 100 no's. To show up when no one claps for you, when no one believes in you, when no one even notices. That is where champions are built, in the silent hours of unseen persistence. Every empire, every fortune, every masterpiece of history was born through someone's refusal to quit. Carnegie endured ridicule. Rockefeller weathered storms of criticism. Jobs was fired from his own company, and yet all returned stronger, sharper, unstoppable. Why? Because quitting was not an option. Winners understand that pain is temporary, but quitting is eternal. And so I ask you, what will define you? Will you be the one who surrendered when it got hard? Or the one who kept going when everyone else gave up? Will you allow the whispers of doubt to write your story? Or will you rise and write your own legend with the ink of persistence and the paper of resilience? The truth is simple, but not easy. The winners you admire are not superhuman. They simply refuse to quit. They simply refuse to die in the soil. They kept rising, kept pushing, kept believing, until the world had no choice but to make room for them. This is why winners refuse to quit. Because they know the finish line is always closer than it looks. Because they know the darkest night always comes before the dawn, because they know that the dream they carry is not just for themselves, but for the countless lives their success will impact. They refuse to quit because they are not driven by comfort. They're driven by purpose. Winners are not powered by luck, they are powered by vision. When the average person sees a wall, the winner sees a doorway disguised as stone. When the average person sees rejection, the winner sees a teacher pointing them toward a sharper path. When the average person feels tired, the winner finds energy not in their muscles, but in their mind, because purpose is fuel more powerful than food, more enduring than sleep, more unstoppable than circumstance. It was Napoleon Hill who said, "Every adversity carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit." Winners know this truth. They don't merely quote it, they embody it. They plant themselves in the storm and demand growth. They understand that the universe is not their enemy, but their greatest trainer, sending trials to sculpt their character and forge their will. Think of a diamond, a lump of carbon buried deep beneath the earth, worthless to the eye. Yet under pressure, under crushing weight, under unbearable heat, it transforms into the most precious of stones. The diamond has no voice, no choice. But you have both. And winners use both to declare, "I will not be broken. I will not be wasted. I will transform my pressure into brilliance." This is why winners walk differently. They move with conviction, with a quiet fire in their eyes. They know storms are temporary, but strength is permanent. They know that every hour of discipline, every day of persistence, every step forward in the face of fear becomes another stone laid in the foundation of their empire. Discipline is the hidden law of success. Discipline is what allows the runner to lace their shoes when the world sleeps. Discipline is what allows the writer to face the blank page, even when inspiration runs dry. Discipline is what allows the entrepreneur to make calls when the bank account screams empty. Without discipline, talent is wasted. Without discipline, dreams rot. But with discipline, winners bend reality to their will. Henry Ford once said, "Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal." Winners never take their eyes off the goal. They are obsessed, possessed, relentless. While the world drifts into distraction, winners keep their vision sharp, their focus unshaken. They do not scroll away their future. They do not complain away their energy. They do not waste what they cannot afford to lose, time. Time is the currency of life, and winners invest it wisely. They spend it on growth, on creation, on building, on learning. They refuse to let the hours slip into the graveyard of wasted days. They treat each morning as sacred, each night as an audit. They measure their progress not in comfort, but in growth. And here lies the greatest secret. Winners are not defined by how fast they rise, but by how many times they rise after falling.